Cool. Here is our essential North Island tour. So you must be super excited to ride some of the North Island's most stunning scenery and some epic single track. This trip starts in Rotorua. So right on the edge of the lake there, you'll be flying into Rotorua Airport, or you'll be driving in from wherever you've just been on holiday. And we will be staying on the western side of town here at this awesome little spot called Ripple. Ripple is right across the road from Skyline Rotorua, where there's a restaurant at the top, and through all of those trees there are some great mountain bike trails. They have everything from grade 3 flow all the way through to quite steep techie grade 6, with some cool jump tracks and stuff in there as well. But our first ride, we are going across town to the Whakarewarewa Forest, or the Redwoods. It's got two names. So we start down here at the end of Te Tukarangi Drive, and we have all of this at our fingertips. So this day is all about just getting out there, going for a ride. There's this beautiful trail here called the Whakarewarewa Forest Loop, which takes you right around the outside of the forest. And so you go past a couple of lakes. This is Blue Lake or Tiki Tapu, and then you've got Rotokakehi, which is Green Lake, and the trail flows its way around, and then there's an easy exit at the end if you want to go down the road, or you can make your way through the forest, which is usually what we would do. And then we'll go to a pub for dinner before cruising back to our accommodation. So, staying there the night, get a lovely sleep, and then we are going to be heading southwest for about a 2-hour drive to the start of the Timber Trail. Timber Trail starts at a little town called Pureora, and this is the site where there was a whole heap of demonstrations, people climbing trees and trying to stop the forestry. So there's some really, really cool old growth forest there, and the trail gently climbs up along the side here of Mount Pureora, which is like a big old mosquito bite, and then we start dropping down into the depths of the Pureora forest. It's about a 4 to 6 hour ride, depending on how we're feeling, depending on the weather, and then we end up at the Timber Trail Lodge, which is a beautiful spot. We're there for the night. You get some pizza, some hot showers, and super nice accommodation, and a really restful sleep before you head to Ongarui, which is another 40k day. The single track's a little bit easier on this day, about the same amount of time, leaving the accommodation around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and then half an hour down the track you get to this beautiful biggest swing bridge on the trail, and then you climb about 40 minutes before you get onto the old tramway, which is where they used to cart the logs out, to Taumaranui, finishing at Ongarui. And then we drive back to Rotorua, which is about a 3-hour drive, and most people will go to sleep, no stress whatsoever. Before you get back to Ripple, Rotorua, we will have some dinner, and again, another good sleep before your rest day. So, free day in Rotorua, heaps to do, lots of tourist activities, and you can do anything from super exciting stuff to super relaxing stuff. Down here on the lakefront, you have Wairiki, which is a super nice spa, or you can head out of town a little bit to Okere Falls, where you can excite yourself with some whitewater rafting, ziplining, and then there's a super nice cafe that you could have some lunch. Or another good option that you can add on to that, or do instead of, is get on a water taxi down here in Rotokawa, and then head across Lake Rotuiti to some hot pools on the side of the lake. So you head on out across the lake, and then into this nice little secluded spot, which has about 8 pools, different temperatures. You can swim in the lake. Could even go there by float plane if you want. And then you have the afternoon to relax before heading back to town. And then the next day, after staying again at Ripple, you will go either to Whirinaki Forest. Oh, sorry, we go to the Whakarewarewa Forest. And then we can ride whatever you're feeling like riding. Your guide will pretty much they know what you like by now, and we know what the conditions are like. And so with over 200 kilometres worth of single track, over 100 trails, we can really just piece it all together. And then the last day we have scheduled, we go across the Kaingaroa Plains to the Whirinaki Forest. Sometimes these days we'll get switched over depending on the weather. But Whirinaki Forest Park is really beautiful example of what New Zealand was like before Europeans got here. So the forest is absolutely incredible, and there is this cool little backcountry trail. It's not super long, it's only 16 k's, but it's a couple of hours of riding. Well, the other option is to upgrade, not go that far to the east, upgrade and go south again to the Kaimanawas. And this is right on the border of Tongariro National Park, which is a dual World Heritage Area for its volcanic properties and also for its cultural heritage. And this is where you can get on a helicopter and fly to the top of the mountain and then ride 25 kilometres of purpose-built single track back down to the car. So this is really nice. You stay up on the tops for the first hour or so before dropping on down into a nice grassy valley. And then there's a climb. So there's still 400 metres worth of climbing over this whole day. And anywhere in this little spot is where we'll stop for lunch and keep cruising on down. We say goodbye to the tops and then we go into some amazing beech forest. And this is all super nice. I call it blue or intermediate trail. And then back to the heli base before driving back to Rotorua. So that's a pretty cool way to wrap up this trip. It's not for everyone. There is a little bit of exposure in places, but it's easy to get off and walk. But the riding is really fun, especially if you are into backcountry.